Welcome to the concluding part on loading data into our database. And if you remember, this is where we stopped in the last video. So we wrote the queries and we created a database first, Superstore. Then we created these three tables, which you can also see right here. So what we want to do now is to load data into our database while fixing errors. Okay, I will show you the easy way first, and in case the easy way fails for any reason or different reasons, you can now use the traditional method of it. So the easy way also uses the traditional method internally for you. Okay, so let's say we want to load in customer table first, right? The customer table is what we want to bring in first, and do not forget you have to bring in the ones with primary keys first before the ones with foreign keys. Okay, so I'll click on customer. Let me expand this to the side. Click on customer. By the way, if you do not have this, if this is what you're seeing when you open your pgAdmin again, all you have to do is click on the database you want to work with, then open a new query tool, and it will open a blank query to you. If you saved your query from the last time, you can click on open to check it out and copy everything to load it into this place, so you see all your queries. If you don't, you can go to your query history and check what you have there, then you can copy the queries into your query editor. All right, so I'll right click on this, then you go to import/export, and by default, of course, sometimes you could have worked with some files before. That's what you see. The last file you work with is what you'll see there, but this is not the file we want to work with. Okay, so let's look at the files we want to work with. How do you check or select the file you want to work with? You click on the folder icon so that it opens your your directory. Click, and then we'll just go to desktop, displays, folders, data sets. All right, and this is where we have it. So wherever you have yours, do not forget the link is in the description below to download the data set. So wherever you have it, if it's under your downloads, just go there and click downloads. If it's under your documents, go there and click documents. Then I'll open this up, and right here I'll select customer. Okay, and I'll click on open. It says it's a CSV file, right? So I'll click on open, and you can see that the path has been updated, so it's now pointing to the file I chose. And of course the format says CSV. See other formats right here, so keep it. Since the CSV on error, by default is going to stop execution. Encoding, most times you're just picking the UTF-8, but we can leave it that way without picking anything. It works just fine. So the next thing you want to do before you hit the OK button is to go to options and make sure your header is turned on. And because it is a comma separated value file, make sure this is on comma. It is not a TSV, it is not a pipe separated, it is not a semicolon separated, it is a comma separated. So make sure your delimiter is a comma. Okay, what else? Just leave everything the way it is and go to your columns. You should be able to see your columns right here. You can see it was able to pick the columns that you have. And customer ID, name, segment, age, country, city, state, postal code, and region. Okay, and since everything is all good, all you have to do is it's okay. It says it's copying, and boom, it's failed. Remember I said we'll simulate some errors so that we can see what went wrong. So how to check the error? We'll click on view processes, and just in case I don't click on this quickly and for any reason it disappears, let's wait for that. Okay, it seems like it has come to stay. Okay, it eventually went. So now that it disappeared, how do I look for my error? Do I have to try it again before I can see the error? No, I just have to go to the processes tab. You remember, and this is where the processes tab comes in. See it up here beside your query too. You see your processes tab, and if it's not directly beside, you can just scroll. You should be able to find it in one of these tabs up here. Of course, by the way, you can close all of these tabs and just keep your processes and your query tool tab alone on. So I'll click on processes, and this is the last process we run. The last process you run will always be at the very top. Okay, so if you run another process, this pushes down, this goes down, and that stays on top. So I'll click on view details, and you can see, like I said, we intentionally simulate what we are doing. So it says value too long for character varying 15. And which column is that? The column city. It says copy customer line 128, column city. It says Colorado Spring. That means when you go to line 28 of our record, this length is longer than 15. So it was an intentional act, like I said, so that we can simulate error, because it will not always go through boom, 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 just like that. So you can know how to correct the errors, how to read them, and how to correct them. Now, sometimes when you open this, probably if you're on server 17, that means Postgres 17 or 18, not necessarily because of the version or of the server number or the version of the Postgres version, but sometimes you might find yourself this way. This is what you might see, this area, and you're like, oh, I can't find the view details, I can't find it, where is yours, where is mine? Do not panic, okay? All you have to do is what? Scroll backwards to the beginning, to the start, and then you see view details. So this is where you're majorly concerned about, this place. This is what you should read, and this is the command it's trying to use for us, Underwood, and we'll see how to use it ourselves, which is the what? Top way of doing things ourselves, okay? Which is the traditional way, right? In case every other method fails. So do not forget your error. You read what the error is and the context. It will tell you how or where it happened. You read it this way. Of course, it exits with the code 1. Don't worry about that. Now, what do we have to do? We have to change the column. We have to change the data type for column city. So we'll close this, go back to Superstore, and then we can say alter table customer. Then we'll say alter. Remember this already. If you don't know what we're doing, it can be two things. This is the first video you're encountering, or you've forgotten what we did in the last video, in the previous video where we explored this in full. So do well to refer back to the video and check it out. So alter city, then we'll say type. We want to change the type. Then we'll say varchar. Of course, it was varchar before, and it's still varchar. We want to change it to, but we're increasing the length, so we can keep it on 20. Let's hope 20 will be enough. All right. So run this, and it's successful. Okay, so if we run select all, city is now 20. So let's rerun our code. Imports, our file path is still there. Okay, our file path is there, CSV is there. Header is turned on, very important. Columns are still intact, and then we'll click on OK. Okay, now we still get another error. Let's click on view processes directly, and you can see the latest one we'll do will be on top. So I'll click on view. Now this time it says state. So state is having issue as well. We just fixed city, but state is also saying District of Columbia is longer than 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So let's say 20 should be enough for that. So we want to do that for state as well. You know how to do it, so you can pause the video quickly and give it a try. Okay, I believe you've done that. I believe you paused. So if you want us to do it together, this is how we do it. I'll just copy this and paste again. And do not forget, if I am too fast for you, do well to go over it again, or use the playback speed button in the YouTube video, the YouTube feature, to take it a bit slower at your pace, whichever works for you. So that you go over it again, you pause, or you pause intermittently, okay, or you change the playback speed. So this time we're changing state. We're changing states to 20. So run that, successful. Run this again. State should now be 20. All right. So let's right click, import, and click OK. Right. Every other thing is still intact. If you didn't change it, they will still be intact. So click OK. And eventually we got a green. So click on view processes. You see, we click on it. There is no error this time. It says copied 793 records. Full 793 records. Imagine when we use insert to start putting the records in one after the other. We'll probably sleep there, right? And yes, this is one of the power of what? Loading data directly into our database. So let's check, let's verify that we have the data ourselves. You can see currently it's empty. So if I rerun customer again, boom, you can see all the data is loaded. See the rows? 793. All loaded completely. See how nice. Check from the file that we have 793 records. And you see, if I click on this, since we don't have a serial number, you can see the count here is what? 794. Excluding the header, that will be 793. Okay. So yes, now we have been able to do that successfully. Now the next one is what to do for products. Okay. And for the sales, we'll use the last traditional method of doing things. So let's click on product and bring product in first. Right click, import/export. We change this file. Now, if you go back there, you can see because we clicked on the product table, it has automatically picked the products columns for us. Okay, so it's expecting all of these columns. If for any reason we don't have one of these columns in our data already, maybe the product name, we can cancel it from here. But if not, leave everything intact. So options, header is turned on, is still comma, general. So we just have to change the file. Click on this, and of course we select products. And we'll click open, and that's changed to products like that. And we'll just click OK. So wait, green. See, it went through immediately, no error. And you see it copied 1,862 records for us. So if we run sales now, or products, let me expand it and see we have all the data loaded in once and for all. No error. Okay, no error at all. Nice. So the last one, which is sales, I want us to use the last method to do it. And how do we check the last method? Don't worry, it's nothing serious. It looks a bit technical, but let me show you how. It says the command. So this is the command SQL is running under hood for us. So I'll copy it. Control C, close it, and then paste it down here. Control V. Don't worry, as usual, we will break it down. So let me change this to capital. And from. Okay. And of course, in our case, let's break this down. Okay. Adjust this. Now, in our case, we know that we do not need to specify the column name since we are providing all of them, right? So let's take it out. Boom. And of course, public the products, we only have one schema, right? We only have a public schema in our database, so we don't need to leave that. We can take that out as well. So we're saying copy product, but in this case, we have copied customer and products, right? So we want to copy sales. That means copy data into the sales table from this file path. So we have to select the file path for the sales data. Of course, you can go ahead and right click to import it. It will work just fine. I just want to show you the last method. Okay. And now, what are the times, or what times should you use this kind of method? There are some issues that come with data that after fixing some errors, you still have some funny errors. For example, it can tell you more range in your data. Let me simulate that for you. Say, for example, there's accidental 6 right here. If we were loading this into our database, it will throw an error. It will say expected column after so thing, right? Because it's expecting to stop here, but somehow a data is sitting somewhere around here. So all you have to do is open that file and make sure there is no data after the last column you have. Okay, you can select the first 10 or the first 10 after your data, and then delete the entire column, not the data. Delete the column. You can just do Control minus, right? So you're sure it deletes the column, and then you save that file before you proceed. That is one way. Okay, very important. If you get any error like expected data after column, something like that. Keep that in mind. It will come in handy for you. Okay, so in this case, what we want to do now, that is one time you might want to use this. Of course, you can correct it and just use your import. Another issue that can come with it is, let's say we right click on import, and sometimes you come here, you cannot find the columns. See, this happens. It's not just there. It's not just there. And when you click on the drop down, you can't find it. This happens. Is an error that happens. If you've faced this error before, do also leave it in the comment section, so that we know, I mean, share your thoughts and share how you resolved it. If you resolved it before now, okay. But if you didn't, also mention that in the comment section that, okay, you're just resolving it via this video. So, and what are the things you can do to make sure this error goes away? Sometimes you have to shut down your entire server, close it completely, make sure it's not running at all, then reopen and try again. Or sometimes you just, or best, you just use this method. So the point is, if all method failed and you're sure that you're doing everything right, okay, then go with this. Okay, go with this method. All right, this is a fail-safe way of loading data into your database. So let's continue. You say the first word is copy sales from, so we're saying copy data into the sales table from this file, because this is pointing to a file. So let's make sure we're pointing to the right file, because this is not the file we want to point to. There's a clause, but let's just copy the file path first. Okay, so here is the file path. So if you're on Windows 11, it's easier to copy. If you're on Windows 10, when you copy, so let's say copy as path. If you're on Windows 10, it won't include the file name for you. If you're on Mac, you copy your file path. So I'll take all of this out and paste it. Okay, so this is it. I'll take out the double quote he added for me. Now, if you're on Windows 10, it will probably stop at this point. Okay, it will not include the file name for you. So all you have to do is what? Put a / and type the file name exactly the way it is. If you have it this way, if it's sales data, type it this way. Okay, type it exactly that way. Okay, for me it is, if you look at it, it's just sales, right? And it's just CSV. So I'll just use sales.csv, CSV, like that. Okay, so we're saying copy sales data from this file. We specify the file path, and it says with format as CSV, delimiter, and quotes. That means escape. When you see double quotes, escape it. You're saying these are the quotes, right? You escape this, escape all of this as well. Though in simple way, we will not have to go through it this way. So what we'll probably just do is say delimiter. If we're writing it ourselves, no, that's not how to spell it. Let me scroll up so you see all the code. So delimiter, we just do this, and then we'll say it's a CSV file, and then we'll say it has header. That's all. So you don't have to memorize or go this way. Okay, this is a fail-safe way, but with just this, we're good to go. So I'll take this out completely, and this is what we have. Okay, all right, so let's run it and see what we get. Oops, it's saying error, could not open file from this file path for reading. What? For reading, permission denied. It says int copy from instructs the PostgreSQL server to read a file. You may want a client side. Don't worry about it. Remember, when I was writing this, I said there's a clause. Now, the only clause to using this particular method is that the data must be in the Postgres directory itself, so that we will not get what? Permission denied error. So you cannot read anywhere outside where we have given it permission. So it's only in the installation folder that we can read this file from. So what do? Copy the entire folder. You can copy just that file, but I'll copy the entire folder for me. Then we'll go to this PC, go to this place. Again, Once you copy that entire file, for Mac people, just stick to the previous method, okay? But if you're on Windows, you can go through it this way. If you're on Linux as well, you can go through it this way. So from there, you click on this PC, okay? Copy your file or folder first. Click on this PC, then open your C drive, or you can have more than one drive. Make sure you open the installation drive itself. Double click and open. Program files. This is 32 bits. This is 64 bits. So do not open the one with 86. Open the one without any number. Open the one without any number. So open program files and scroll all the way down to PostgreSQL. Open it. Open the version number. If you have two versions, you probably see 18 and 17, or 17 and 18 anyhow. Then you open data. So inside the data, right here, we can now create. Okay, so I decided to. I have it there. So I created this. I created this folder. So you can create yours. You can call yours data set or whatever it is. So I created mine as custom. Then you open the custom. Do not forget, from this place you won't find this in your own folder. So create any folder. You can name it, give it your name, give it a data set, whatever it is you want to name it. So I just name it custom. So inside there I have databases, that's SQL files, data sets, exercises, project queries. So queries as well that you save. This is where I save my query. I just want everything to be organized, and that's why I save my queries in here. So I open data set, which is the folder I created, is empty for now, and I'll paste this guy in the folder I copied. Then I open the folder, select the sales again, right click and copy as what? Copy as path again. So I've copied as path again. Now it will change the file path to the one inside this place. Do not forget, quick one, from data, you have to create a new folder yourself and then paste in the file or folder you copied. Okay, then you copy your file path again. So I'll change this to the new file path, and of course you remove the double quotes it had for us automatically. Remove that. Again, if you're on Windows 10, it will not have the file name for you. It won't have the / and the file name for you. You'll add that yourself. Now that we have added this, now this is now pointing to our Postgres directory, so it can read files without any permission error from the installation directory itself. All you have to do is now run it again, and you see, successful. It says it copied 9,994 records for us. So let's confirm that it's imported successfully, and if we run it, and boom, we now have our data imported. Nice. So everything looks good. You can see numeric. So if you had used decimal, pgAdmin would have changed it to numeric. You will not see decimal right there. So that's why I said you can use both interchangeably. But since this is more mathematical, you know what, don't worry, don't think about it so much. Why? But when I use decimal or numeric, it works just fine. Okay. And this brings us to the end of importing data. And you can see how we fixed different kind of errors. We covered different use cases, and we have the proof safe or file fail safe kind of way of importing data. However, if for any reason you have a unique issue or challenge with importing data using pgAdmin, do also comment in the section below, and you'll get answers to how to go about it. But I probably pretty much covered all the unlikely errors you will face in importing data into your database. And yes, now we can get our hands more dirty by writing more queries. Yeah, dirty in this case, that means we'll have more data, larger data, to write more queries and see how things work with our database. We want to find out what is going on. We want to write this. And yes, this brings us to the end of this video. See you in the next. Just two other things as a final note before you might want to try this as well, before you conclude it's not working, is that you can decide to refresh the entire database right click and refresh. You try that, you right click on the table itself, you refresh, or you might want to come to that particular table, go all the way to tables, search just this. Okay, then you right click and also refresh. So in case you are not seeing any of this, okay, if all of these are not there, so you might want to try all those things, or you have different kind of issue, just go through all of those steps. Or you drop your table, you drop the table completely, then you recreate it. If you still have your query, you can drop your table and just rerun this. Okay, and with that and this as a fail safe way of importing, you should be good to go.